Hi guys, anyone there?
Connected to THUYY and point on voice on. Point on voice on. Disconnected.
Surah? Hello? Hi guys, welcome.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna share this code, and so please check it.
There you go. I can hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? Let's see. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay, awesome. Hey, so welcome to week 3. How was quiz 1?
Not so good. It's a lot of material, and I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to study for it.
Yes. So for pathos, the best way, it really depends on the professor. Who do you have for patho?
I have Dr. Huang.
Oh, I see. So for him, it's better to do, okay, so as far as I know, there is this weekly quiz on Blackboard that you're supposed to do, right, for to get points?
Yes.
Yeah, so do you see any similar questions like the practice that you got?
Some of the questions are similar, but then some of them are more like clinical, where you have to like think a while and put stuff together.
Yes. So are you finding yourself kind of like not familiar with the concepts, or what's the problem?
I think the problem is like having to think through it. Like we only get like a minute per question, which I'm finding like that is the standard. But it's like having to read the questions over and over to make sure I actually, sometimes I think I overread the problem. I mean overemphasize on the question itself rather than just looking at what's directly in front of me. You know what I mean?
Yes. Like so you're saying like you're putting more information into the questions instead of taking it the way it is?
Exactly. And then over processing, because at the same time, again, you have a lot of information and then you're trying to do process of elimination, but quickly.
Yes. Yeah, that's difficult. So that kind of problem, you're gonna run into it for the rest of this school year or until the program is over. Because when you get to like higher classes, like core classes, those are the same kind of questions that you're gonna encounter.
Mm-hmm.
So the best way for me, the best way for me is to kind of like read the concepts and then practice questions on the internet, because on the internet there are a lot of questions that you can practice. Have you heard of Quizlet?
Okay.
There's this website called Quizlet.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a lot of practice questions that you can practice before the quiz.
Okay.
Yeah, and on the internet, try to find give me a concept. Give me like an example of like something that you're struggling with.
So like, let's say, I think on the last quiz, we had to do like the different types of hypersensitivities. We had like 1 to 4 hypersensitivities.
Oh, so wait, so you guys, so quiz 1 was on chapter 10?
No, we already did quiz 2.
Oh, you guys did quiz 2 already?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, quiz 2 was, I think from 10 to 15, chapters 10 to 15. And it had some stuff to do with like hypersensitivity. So in that kind of instance, I know some of them were like direct and straightforward, but then, again, when you're like rushing through them to trying to figure out what it is, it becomes a problem. So I think Quizlist is a good suggestion. I can try that. So I can practice.
If you don't mind, what I do is when I'm taking the exam, because what medical questions are going to do is it's going to try to confuse you. All the answers are right, but what is most right? When you focus on, I know for me, I'm very into like systematically studying everything. And I look at the question, I could close my eyes without looking at the answers. I should know kind of what the answer is. And if I look at the answer bank and my answer's there, 90% chance that that's the answer. Also, you should focus on kind of disproving the other answers. It's not what works best. It's no, this is wrong because I know that it's wrong versus it doesn't look right. So you have to take it, you have to actually take the question and kind of decipher it. It's not overthinking because, oh, this could be right, this couldn't be right. It's no, this one is right. This works perfectly with this question. You know, like magnesium isn't a factor in this versus sodium is a factor in this. So that's just what helped me with exam 2.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
You mind if I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So right now I've been going over like blood pressure, all these things, and I'm taking Sue Park. Her videos that she sends are not very informative. So for the most part, I'm teaching myself everything. And I'm going over, so I'm a paramedic and going over cardiac dysrhythmias, cool. I'm good at like reading 12 leads and stuff like that, but she doesn't go over what she wants of us. So I'm sitting here drawing out AFib, SVT, all these things, but I'm really unsure of what she wants. And the resources that she provides are not informative at all.
I see. So I didn't have her, but I can see your concern. So from what I understood, you're saying that because she didn't really provide any informative information, it's kind of hard to predict what's going to be on the quiz.
Yeah, the quizzes that I've been taking, I've been getting like one question wrong, which is fine.
Oh, that's really good.
I'm not. The thing that I'm concerned is that if I start becoming complacent and I'm saying, okay, fine. She says the things that she covers in lecture really cover maybe 40% of what's covered in the book. If I become complacent and say, I'm going to stick with what she says in lecture, I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss something on a major exam. I just want to know what is the criteria that she sets her exams on, because she says, oh, learn from the book, learn from this. I went over in like malignant white blood cell disorders. I went over all the genes, Reed Sternberg, all these things to identify, you know, multiple myeloma, Hodgkin's lymphoma, and yet none of it was on the exam. So now I'm sitting here doing the cardiac dysrhythmias, and I'm like, okay, in like a PVC, so there's an ectopic focus, which you know what I mean, and I'm like getting into the actual pathology of it when she didn't even cover arrhythmias in her videos that she sent out.
So far her quizzes consist of only 40% of what she went over, or?
No, everything that she went over, but I'm sitting here like, this isn't a pathophysiology class. We're not really learning pathophysiology. We're more learning surface level of everything. There's like, okay, left-sided heart failure versus right-sided heart failure. I'm like, okay, cool. I know the clinical manifestations from what I've like seen in EMS, but I'm not sure what she expects me to know, because I'm literally sitting here drawing like all the cardiac dysrhythmias, going behind the pathology of all these things, and then I don't like and then she didn't even cover how to like read a 12 lead, and yet her discussion prompt is deciphering a 12 lead.
Yeah, that sounds like she got some kind of she's not really on page with what she's asking.
Exactly. So what would you suggest?
Does she have office hour?
That I'm not sure. I've sent her emails, but yeah, let me check.
Yeah, so each professor should have like at least 2 hours of office hour. I think that's mandatory.
A day?
So I think that the best way to prepare for exam would be to meet with her one-on-one and ask her directly what she's expecting.
Okay. So her office hours are Wednesday at 3 to 4 p.m. So I'll probably join that.
It's not. I feel like reading the book is good, but if you don't really have a focus, then it's kind of hard to digest all this information.
Exactly. Okay, so now that like we've clarified that, how should I go by studying pathophysiology? I do flashcards, so signs and symptoms, clinical manifestation, all these things. But also there's an endless amount of things I could cover.
Okay, so I took patho like 5 terms ago. So right now I'm in OB, and
Oh,
so
wow.
far, yeah, so far all the pathos that I have encountered are really basic. So basically, for instance, right,
Yeah.
the kidney, for example. How does the kidney function, and how
Right.
important
So
is
learning about the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone pathway.
yeah. So it's basically best to understand how the organ works and
Okay.
what could go wrong if the organ, like a specific organ, if it becomes malfunctions, what could go wrong with the body and how to fix it.
Okay, so I shouldn't expect that in a pathophysiology course, I'm going to get into the nitty gritty of all the pathologies. It's more having a basic understanding of the, and we
Yep.
have to physiology, right? So I'm reading too much into it. I should not be looking at the etiology, pathogenesis of all the cardiac dysrhythmias. I
Yes,
should
and
know what it is, basically.
and the sign and symptoms that would manifest if an organ is not functioning.
Okay, cool. So, okay, fine. That makes much more sense.
Yeah, because when you get to higher, but like core classes, those are the kind of questions. I mean, those are the kind of information that you would need to know. So then you can kind of proceed on what to do next with the information that you know.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah, and they'll go over it again. So don't worry so much about like knowing every single thing.
Okay, cool. And also, how do you, just as like a study technique, how did you, I mean, did you have any specific study techniques that you have done? Because I can sit here and study for 18 hours, but I need more of a structured study,
Yeah.
I guess.
So what I did back when I was taking my professor, basically I went online, and for example, if I'm studying the alteration in oxygen, I would go online and Google like alteration in oxygen, pathophysiology, practice questions.
Oh,
And then just keep, do them, but make sure that you read like, for example, they give you different answers, right? You have to read to see why each answer is wrong and what makes it right.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So that should like at least kind of prepare you for the quiz. But to be fully prepared, you need to know what your professor is asking for by like meeting up with her one-on-one.
Right. Okay. And also reading EKGs like a 12 lead. What's one way you would say, what's your easiest like way to decipher a 12 lead EKG?
So for the EKG, when I was taking Patho, he didn't go over EKG at all.
Really?
So he basically just skipped over the whole EKG thing. But when you get to MedSearch, then EKG would be taught, but not so much in Patho. Right. But for how to like best grasp the EKG concept, there are certain YouTube videos that would like explain it with animation so that you understand like what each peak means and all that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Shura, is that how you say your name? Shura?
Sheree.
Sheree. So how's it going?
It's going okay. I'm trying to right now I'm just trying to decipher just going through the information as far as like the alteration and the cardiac functions. So that would be the one that we have like for the quiz coming up for this week. And so I'm just like, it's a lot of material. So I'm just trying to like focus on what I think he may be asking and things that I really feel like I should know, like, cardiac output, just in case if he asks us about stroke volumes, and blood pressure, that kind of stuff that we're working on.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm working on as of now. I'm just trying. I'm just trying. I guess my biggest problem is to try to figure out what's the best way to study all the materials. You know,
Yeah.
figure out my best study tool to, because I'm reading the chapters, I'm writing out my notes, but I'm still finding, like, sometimes I'm still like stuck, even though I've probably seen it in my studies, like how
Mhm.
and there's just a means to making it stick, the information stick.
Yeah. So so from what I understood, you're asking how to retain information.
Yeah. Like,
Mm.
what's a good study tool that you can offer? I know, doing a quiz over, because I was asking him. He has a um a part on our thing. It's called Check Your Understanding. And so my
Yes.
thing is, it's also connected to, like, I think it's to Pearson. So my question was to him, which he hasn't answered me. Uh, he hasn't answered, is that, when you check your understanding, it says you have unlimited trials. However,
Mhm.
those trials, you can do them 100 times, but total is going to calculate your grade. So my thing is, even though we've already done it, I've already got a grade for it, can I go back now and redo these same questions just so I can have a better understanding of the concept and to get more familiar with the material?
I mean, I don't see why not. If you log on Blackboard and those quizzes are still available, absolutely feel free to practice as many times as you want.
But even if they're like say for instance, like, let's say the questions for question one, right?
Mhm.
For quiz one.
Mhm.
So now that that grade is already passed and that quiz
Mhm.
is still available, it'll say, well, you can start a new session. So if I start a new session, I want to keep, just practicing the material just so I can become familiar with it. I'm just hoping that at the same time it doesn't affect the grade that's already been posted. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Wait, so you worry that like if you keep on practicing, then the score might change?
Yes, that's the thing. That's
Mm.
why I was asking him. I wanted clarification on that because are the grades going to change once I mean, even though we're in week 3 and I'm practicing week 1 and 2 because I'm trying to prepare myself in advance for the midterm,
Yeah.
which is in 2 weeks. So my thing is, if I go back and I check my understanding on week 1 and week 2 information, will this affect my grades if I go back into the system?
Mm. So the grade that okay, so when you take a quiz, the score automatically get updated, right? So because it's controlled by Blackboard, he's not controlling what Blackboard is giving you in terms of like grade. So if you were to go back to quiz one, the score might change, but then it's not going. If you talk to him, then he can be aware of like you practicing the old quizzes. So hopefully he can like kind of stop Blackboard from giving you an updated grade or something like that. It's best to talk to him because he know more about how Blackboard functions in terms of like those quizzes.
Okay,
But
I
I
will.
think yeah, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, but I think that the grade will change because there's no like if it's still allowing you to take quizzes, then it would still upgrade the grade. But then you can practice though. Just go on week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so right now you have a set percentage in week 1. Check your understanding, right? So if you go on Google and Google the answer for those questions, and then kind of like keep it on the side and retake the quiz, and make sure that you get like 100% right. Then go back to your grade and see if like there's anything that changed with the set grade that you got. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically just test it out yourself if he's not responding on time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because those my understanding questions, they're on Google. So you can always find like the answer along with like explanations as to why those answers are correct.
Okay, so I'll try to go back because even I went back to like try to like review like the questions, and when I went back
Mhm.
to try to review the questions, it only gives you like a legend as to what you had right or wrong and that percentage, but it doesn't say like it doesn't show you the questions itself so that you can review the question.
Hmm. So it doesn't show which one you got wrong.
Not on the not when you go back. You have a choice because it just prints out, it just shows you a legend. It's all it does. When you go back to like to actually review the question, you have to actually go in and do another session, like you just said. Do a
Yeah.
session, Google out the question, and then that way I can look at the answer and see why it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Mm,
means I would have to go through that way, and I'm gonna try that as well as um Quizlet.
mhm. Yeah. Because there's a lot of old tests posted on Quizlet as well. So check it out.
Okay, so I don't think I'm not that familiar with Quizlet, so I just put in go to Quizlet and then just put in patho, and then do I just put in like the subjects that we're talking about? Like right now, this week is like
So
the alteration in cardiac function. So I'll just put in or that.
so basically, go on a Google page and
Uh-huh.
type in and then type in pathophysiology, Quizlet, West Coast University.
Okay.
And there should be like different quizzes. So for example, there's going to be quizzes on week 1, which is chapter 1 to 4-7, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And find the week that is corresponding to like what you're looking for,
Mm-hmm.
and read, yeah, and kind of scroll down and read into it. Wait, let me send you a page. Let me see. So I just posted a link to the chat. So click on that link and it should take you to a Quizlet webpage that has West Coast Patho.
Let me see if I can find you. Chat.
So, and then I'm gonna post another link right
Oh,
there.
there you go.
And yeah, the second link that I posted should have, that link should contain like a quiz about chapter 10, 11, 14, and 15. You're
Oh,
studying
cool.
for quiz number 2, right?
We're studying for 3.
Oh, you're studying for quiz number 3.
Yeah, this is week 3. Uh-huh.
So let me see. So what chapters are week 3?
Week 3, I think it's chapters 8, 16, 18, 19, and 20.
Okay. So I'm gonna post a third link. Do you see it? And
Yes,
that
I
link,
do.
so that link has chapter 16, 18, 19, and 20. So kind of go down. So what do you see on your screen right now? Do you see the quiz? It's not
It's
really
still,
a quiz. Is it
y-
still loading?
Yes, it is. It is. It's a part. So yeah, it's there now.
Okay,
So it
so
goes into the blood pressure. It goes into arterial compliance and that kind of stuff.
yeah, mm-hmm. So kind of use that to study and as well as looking up practice more practice questions. And when you
Oh.
mhm. And then when you do enough practice questions, and even if on the quiz you see new questions, those questions will still have the information that you already practiced on the previous practice questions that you're having right now, right? So just the same concept phrased in different way. So my point is that practice questions, do a tons of them. A tons of practice questions would absolutely help.
Oh, I will.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what
Yep.
these, what the links that you sent me, are those
Mm-hmm.
links? Will I be able to access it outside of, this forum? I'll be able to just, can I just, I
Uh,
mean,
of course. So when you click on the link and it brings to a page, right?
mm-hmm.
So what you need to do is double click on the how do you say this? The address. Okay, never mind. Are you using Google right now?
Um, yeah, I think this is Google. Yeah, it's more likely Google. Yeah.
Okay, so what you can do with Google is that you can bookmark the page onto Google, so then you can just access it anytime you want. You don't have to be on Zoom to access it.
Okay,
Um,
so as you said, West Coast Pathophysiology, I'll just put, so I don't be typing in your ear. Sorry.
hmm. What was it?
No, I was saying I didn't want to be what do you call this thing? Typing in. Okay, I get it.
I'm sorry, you got cut off, so I kind of missed what you said there.
No, I was saying, I said I didn't want to. I was gonna put it into Google to try to make sure I have it just while you're
Mhm.
here. So, but I didn't want to be I didn't know if you could hear me with the typing. So I didn't want to be texting the information in the Google Trip thing because I'm on my phone, not on my laptop at this time.
You're on your phone. Okay, okay. Let's see. I can always let me see. Do you want me to send you the link to your text messages? Hello?
I'm here.
Okay, so I just posted another link that has,
Okay.
yeah, so that link will contain like a bunch of questions also that you might want to check out.
Okay. I'll do that.
Mm.
So just the biggest thing is just to, I think the biggest thing for me is just to practice. Even though I'm reading the material, because that way I can also retain information better, doing it, over and over and over again anyways. It's better.
Yeah. And when you do questions, it get you thinking. So then you can apply what you read to like your critical thinking.
Absolutely. Because then it'll make
Mhm.
more sense from what,
Yeah. Mhm.
Thank you so much for sending that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I think that's all I have though. That I think that was my biggest issue is how can I retain this information? How can I practice more, even aside from the reading, when I want to take a break from the reading and just practice questions? What was my best option? So Quizlet seems Google search with another one.
Mm. Yes. Hello there. Welcome.
Hi. Oh,
How's your week going?
it's good, thank you. Just so much studying.
Oh yeah, yeah. How's your class?
It's doing good. I just like on the way to get into more studying. Like I think mastering my exams because I have problems. Like I study so much, but still just mistakes. Like sometimes like
Yeah.
studying and yeah. So figuring out how to do it. Actually, so this is like a tutoring because today like I cannot participate, but I want to start doing it from last week because I didn't do any reading yet, so I don't even have questions unfortunately about the material.
Mm. How was your first quiz?
It was I did like a C. The second one was B, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to get an A in the class, so it's
Mm.
like I need to like
So,
I think uh-huh.
so what do you find is the most challenging thing about Patho?
Um, the problem is like I'm just missing the lectures. You know how like because then I read the new it's not like a new material, but pathophysiology I find like a little bit new. And my problem is like I forgot some of the materials from before, so I need to go back and refresh my old understanding of everything. Because just
Mm-hmm.
jump into the reading sometimes doesn't make sense because I forgot like the material, what is like the basis of this. So that's my
Mm.
challenging thing. So basically I just need to spend more time refreshing my knowledge.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you find reading the new material difficult because you forgot the basic of the Patho?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because then
Mm.
they explain something. I just like the last. It was about white blood count. The
Mm-hmm.
and there was for me it was so confusing because I just totally forgot the like basic material. So I read the chapter and I didn't really understand it, so I had to reread it again. I didn't understand it. Then I just went back to my notes and refreshed everything. Then it all became clear. It was basically now I'm trying to refresh the basics. Yeah.
I see.
Other than that, it's not that bad actually. Um, Other than that, like a test, I think it's a decent test. It's not too hard. It's not easy, but it's not like, oh my gosh, it's not like they're asking something. If you really understand everything, you're gonna be fine, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I guess the
So,
best
but
way to
so
start,
uh-huh.
go ahead.
Yeah, so but I think like from now on, I think I want to take advantage of this tutoring you guys offering. I just want to like jump like studying reading everything like Monday, Tuesday, and have my questions and to clear something up with you. Because at
Yeah,
this
that would be
point, I just
perfect.
didn't even read. Yeah.
So I guess just
Yeah.
just read and write down the concept that you're unsure of, and then bring it to tutor.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and hopefully I can
Absolutely.
answer as best as I can.
Absolutely, yeah, would be great. So you guys it's gonna be every same time all the times, right? Like Tuesday 5 to 7:30.
5 to 7.
5 to 7. Oh yeah, 5 to 7. That's a good enough. 2 hours, I think it's enough. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna definitely join you next time, but right now I think I don't even know what to ask. I mean, I do like, but I just want to concentrate on this big readings.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds
and
good.
I'll prepare all the questions. Awesome. Thank you so much. Bye.
You're
You
welcome.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, same for me too. I think I'm good as far as what you just explained, and I'm gonna do the same, and then I'll bring questions back on Tuesday.
Okay, got it. Good luck, you guys.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a great week.
You too. Bye-bye.